Brought to you by DK Audio.
DK Audio presents the abridged version of The Unprocessed Plate, written and read by Rhiannon Lambert. This audiobook is an abridged version of the print edition of The Unprocessed Plate, which is where you will find 60 of my UPF-free recipes, which is out to purchase now. Know your nutrition. What exactly are UPFs and how do they affect our health? Should we avoid them completely, or is there room for nuance? Enter The Unprocessed Plate. This book tackles one of the most contentious topics in modern nutrition: ultra-processed foods, UPFs. Rarely has a term sparked such debate, fear, and misunderstanding, but in this audiobook, I aim to answer everyone's most common concerns in a way that's clear, compassionate, and firmly rooted in science. In a world saturated with conflicting messages about food and health, navigating nutrition has become a daunting challenge for many. Buzzwords, pseudoscience, and diet fads dominate headlines, leaving people confused, overwhelmed, and disconnected from the joy of eating. This book was born out of a desire to change that, to provide clarity, empower individuals with evidence-based knowledge, and help them embrace a healthy relationship with food that supports both their bodies and minds. This is not just a book about what to avoid. It's a book about what to embrace. It's about finding balance, equipping yourself with the knowledge to make informed choices, and letting go of perfection in favor of progress. In this audiobook, you'll find not only the latest scientific insights, but also practical strategies to navigate the modern food environment, no matter your circumstances. The conversation around UPFs is nuanced and often deeply emotional. Food isn't just sustenance, it's tied to culture, identity, and our unique psychological and emotional connections. We all eat for different reasons, and not everyone has the same access, choices, or opportunities. As you delve into this audiobook, I urge you to be kind to yourself. Acknowledge that everyone is doing their best to navigate their circumstances and live a happy, fulfilling life. This interplay between food and psychology is one of the reasons I entered this field, to help others find balance without judgment or guilt. As a mother of 2 young boys, I understand firsthand the challenges of balancing family life, work, and health in today's fast-paced world. My hope is that this audiobook becomes a guide you can turn to, whether you're striving to improve your diet, better understand the science, or simply make peace with your plate. Together, let's cut through the noise, embrace a healthier relationship with food, and pave the way for a brighter, healthier future for ourselves and the generations to come. Chapter 1. What are ultra-processed foods? Let's dive into the science, the facts, and the bigger picture. Without a deeper understanding of why UPFs exist in the first place, it's easy to feel overwhelmed or even confused by the debate surrounding them. Recognizing that these foods have a place in modern diets while also acknowledging that they're best consumed in moderation is essential for maintaining both mental and physical well-being. This chapter serves as your go-to guide to untangle the complex web of UPFs and their impact on our lives, arming you with the knowledge to make informed food choices. We'll explore the long-term effects of UPFs on health, including their connections to gut health, fertility, the environment, and social circumstances. You'll also gain clarity on the additives in your food, what they are, why they are used, and whether they're truly necessary. How do we define processed and ultra-processed foods? Currently, there are no universally agreed upon definitions of processed or ultra-processed foods. The most commonly agreed upon framework that we have to date is the NOVA classification, as defined by Carlos Monteiro. This is the framework we will use throughout this audiobook when discussing unprocessed, processed, and ultra-processed foods. While the exact definitions are being agreed upon, what scientists do agree on is that regularly consuming excessive amounts of UPFs may have long-term health consequences. There might be situations when choosing UPFs is necessary. However, many people consume them without even realizing it. Without clear information, it can be challenging to make informed decisions about the place of UPFs in your diet. Processed food. Processing food involves changing its natural state. This is often done to prolong shelf life, make products safe to store and/or eat, enhance taste, or even increase nutritional value. This is no bad thing. Processing methods such as pasteurizing, canning, fermenting, freezing, and drying have enabled us to feed large and growing populations, particularly in difficult times when food is sparse. In fact, processed food is not just a thing of the present. Fermentation is as old as human civilization. The earliest form of fermentation was discovered by analyzing the stone mortars found at Natufian burial sites. The findings revealed that fermented cereals have been used for beer brewing for over 13,000 years. These days, most food products are processed to some degree. With the exception of freshly harvested organic fruits and vegetables, it's almost impossible to avoid consuming processed food in today's modern society. Ultra-processed food. UPFs are engineered to be convenient, extra tasty, and highly profitable for the companies that make them, and they have also helped to save lives. Ultra-processing food involves changing the natural state of foods using industrial-scale methods and ingredients that you may not recognize. A useful way of understanding the different types of food processing is by looking at the Nova Food classification. Through extensive research and analysis of nationwide food consumption, the Brazilian epidemiologist Carlos Monteiro and his team identified two distinct dietary patterns. One centered on traditional, minimally processed foods, and another on ultra-processed foods. The Nova classification was ultimately created to understand the relationship between food processing, nutrition, and health outcomes, helping to address the complexities of the modern food environment. The 4 Nova food groups. Carlos Monteiro and a team of nutritional scientists developed the Nova classification in response to their observations of changing dietary patterns in Brazil. The classification splits food products up into 4 different categories. 1. Unprocessed or minimally processed foods. Unprocessed or minimally processed food is food that has not been altered and/or has no added ingredients. Washed and bagged spinach, pre-cut fresh fruit, or frozen vegetables are all minimally processed. They might have been made more convenient to consume, but their nutritional value hasn't been altered. 2. Processed culinary ingredients. Processed culinary ingredients are made from unprocessed foods through simple processing techniques. This group includes oil, butter, sugar, salt, dried herbs, and spices. Processed culinary ingredients are added to other foods rather than eaten by themselves. 3. Processed foods. Processed foods are partially altered by adding sugar, oil, fat, salt, and other culinary ingredients to unprocessed or minimally processed foods, often to extend their shelf life. Foods like cheese, homemade or artisanal bread, and tofu have been processed, but not in a way that's necessarily negative for our health. 4. Ultra-processed foods. UPFs are foods that have been entirely altered and may have high levels of unhealthy fats, refined sugars, and/or salt. They also undergo industrial processes like hydrogenation and molding, and contain additives like dyes, stabilizers, flavor enhancers, emulsifiers, and defoaming agents. These foods are usually very calorie-dense and don't contain many, if any, valuable nutrients. Your pantry at a glance. Here are how some familiar food items fit into the 4 Nova food group.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?